Hello, Aries, and welcome to your March 2025 tarot card reading. And happy birthday to all of you March Arians out there as well. Let's go ahead and get started, see what comes through for you. We're going to start with the Moonology card. So we start off with step out of your comfort zone. Okay, now this really speaks to the need or the desire or the nudge that you're getting, the little nudging to kind of do something a little bit drastically different. And whatever path you've been on, I'm not saying it's the wrong path or you have to completely redesign your path or anything like that, but I think there have to be certain changes. And I don't think those changes are the most comfortable thing. Now, the good news is that March is a really eventful month. Okay, there's a lot of different stuff going on, including eclipses. All right, we have the big total solar eclipse in Virgo, and that particular eclipse, the sun will be conjunct the north node, moon will be conjunct the south node, and it is going to realign us, okay? There's not really a lot you have to do necessarily. I think this is more let the universe just take care of it. Let the divine guide you. Let you be placed. Let yourself be placed where you need to be placed. But it is going to require you to be able to deal with the discomfort. It's going to require you to kind of let yourself be taken and put somewhere else or redirected somewhere else without putting up that much of a fight. Okay, I think we have to be willing to do things that we don't really want to do. So let's see what comes through here with the animal spirit deck. This says, the spider spirit, make your dreams real. Any realignment or any redirection that you experience this month, it's because you wanted it or you asked for it in some way, right? You are here, you want to be here. So the universe says, okay, Aries, if we want to make that jump from here to here, then this needs to be removed or this needs to be added or this needs to be changed. And, so we're going to do it, boom. And then, you're getting what you asked for. You're going to. That's what happens during eclipse season. It's just always often in disguise, and you don't always recognize exactly how it fits in the big picture of everything. But you are in the process of making your dreams real. But it is going to require, like I say, a significant degree of discomfort on your part. So let's see what else comes through for you, Aries, starting with the tarot cards now. See if Mr. Marm is going to let me move the cards up. Okay, we have the moon, the 7 of coins, and the chariot. Now, the moon is really, really appropriate for this astrological environment because I think there are a lot of mysterious qualities coming forth. And it is going to be triggering, and it is going to kind of really touch those unhealed parts of us. And we're going to have to be able to go deep and have that self-awareness that says, okay, I'm just being pushed outside of my comfort zone. That's all that's happening. And you have to be willing to really go along with that. And yes, there is going to be elements of fear and your survival mode might kick in and all of that. But again, we need to have self-awareness enough to say, that's just projection or it's just subconscious stuff coming up and it's not necessarily real. It's not necessarily a reason to not do things. And I don't, the one thing I don't want to see is Aries shooting themselves in the foot simply because it's uncomfortable, right? Because if you are in the process of making your dreams real, a period of acclimation is to be expected. It's like I always use this example of people winning the lottery, right? You win the lottery, there's people who spend it all right away and go bankrupt because they don't really understand how to adjust their behavior in order to handle that amount of money. And so, you're being placed in a situation like you just won the lottery. So there's fear of like, okay, well, I don't want to lose it, so I am going to have to adjust my behavior and learn about money in a different kind of way to be able to handle and manage and grow all this money that I have now. Again, that's metaphorical. So, but we don't want to try to run away from the challenge. We don't want to sink back into what is normal for us because we're trying to create a life that is somewhat abnormal for us up to this point. Not abnormal in terms of society, but abnormal for us, something we've never experienced before. Okay, so when I look at the Seven of Coins, I see Aries really looking at things and analyzing. And I think there's a lot of analytical energy in the sky right now. I really, really do, with that full moon in Virgo and the Mercury retrograde. We're going to be trying to figure things out, trying to look at things. But the problem is that I don't know that that's really an accurate representation of things. And so when you're analyzing, which all you can do is analyze the past, right? Because you cannot analyze the future. You can project for the future, but you cannot analyze something that has not happened yet. So I think you are looking to the past and saying, okay, well, this is most likely how something is going to go. But I look at this Chariot and I'm like, I don't think you should base really your decisions based on the past. I don't think you should make choices based on the past. I don't think you should try to protect yourself because of something that happened in the past. I don't think that's going to bode well for you. I think this turning point is a little bit of an outlier, and it doesn't necessarily have to follow the pattern. And I don't think it is going to follow the pattern. I think your fear is that it's going to follow the pattern, but I don't think it is. You're not going to go down a repeat. Okay, and I think that's something to be to keep in the center of your heart, that this is not about repeat. It's not about repeating anything. This is about completely new types of stuff. The Chariot, there's a lot of transcendence and ascension that happens here. There's a lot of growth and development, but there's also a lot of will. Okay, look, when you step out of your comfort zone, it is going to require stuff from you. It's going to require effort and attention and resources and things like that. And you're going to have to consciously embrace and embody this this out of the comfort zone energy, this out of the comfort zone place. You're going to have to fully embrace it and envelop it. And you don't want to reject it, because if you reject it, then it's going to be very difficult for your dreams to become a reality. Okay? This is personal growth, personal development. It's not all that uncommon. We go through phases like this all the time, but sometimes we do it by choice, and other times we're kind of pushed into it. Right now, I think the eclipses are kind of pushing us into it a little bit. Plus the Venus retrograde in your sign, in Aries. Okay? Okay, now that Marm is gone. Big chunky boy takes up the whole Zabel. Okay. The Sun, Knight of Cups in the Tower. The Sun speaks to creativity and passion, but more so, I think, coming off the Chariot, the card right after the Chariot, I think it speaks more so to your sense of personal authority and your confidence and your self-belief. Really, that solar plexus chakra energy ringing strong. There's an element of creativity that is coming through that is likely difficult to fight off. Now, I look at the Knight of Cups and I see you, Aries, being exceptionally optimistic and having a sense of belief in yourself. Now, this is really, really common when we hit Pisces season. We tend to elevate in our self-belief and things like that, because that's what Pisces is all about. It's about belief. That's literally the motto of Pisces, okay? So we believe, we have faith, we have trust, we believe in the divine, we believe in possibility, we wear our heart on our sleeves a little bit more than normal. And we tend to allow ourselves to dream in a more boundless state, and we go bigger and we go more delusional, because I think that's what we need to happen, what we need to have, so that we have something to work towards, right? We're talking about our dreams here. We're not talking about the most realistic likelihood of something happening, right? We're talking about the ultimate dream. So we want to lean into the bigness of everything. I think the Knight of Cups is really, really good at that. With the Chariot, with the Sun, I think this is a moment where you're like, I believe this is possible for me. So even though you go through a little bit of a period where there's, some uncertainty and fear and whatnot, ultimately, this kind of swings back. It's definitely a pendulum swing where on one hand we begin March and it's all very strange and weird, and then all of a sudden that pendulum swings and you're like, nope, I can do it. I can do it. I can believe in it. And I think this is a time when Aries really starts to ramp up. Maybe there is an element of working very hard. Now, it is Pisces season. It is 12th house activity. There's a lot of Neptune energy at play as well. And, you're going to need time for breaks. I'll just say that, kind of not really in the cards, but just from an astrological perspective, you're certainly going to want to afford yourself some breaks and time to sleep and time to, kind of disconnect and retreat and retract once in a while, especially if you do find yourself working extra hard. I think that's going to be a requirement, just for you to be able to pull back a little bit, to be able to balance everything out. But ultimately, I think there's a lot of go, go, go kind of energy here with the Sun and Knight of Cups, especially now that Mars is officially moving direct. I think you're going to feel that big time. And then immediately we hit into the Tower. Now, this is probably, this is an inevitability. This is something that just has to happen because you have to align. I suspect this is connected with the eclipse in Virgo, which is happening on the 14th. And then Mercury retrograde is happening the very next day on the 15th. So, there's a lot of turnaround energy in the very first of the month. Tower seems to, animate that for us, or illustrate that for us. Tower speaks to something. Now, I don't want to say it's unexpected. I think it might be a little bit surprising, but I don't think it's unexpected. I don't think this is something that you out of the, oh my gosh, I had no idea. It's not like that. I think as you are changing and developing, and as you really embrace this Chariot, Sun, creativity, passion, and all of that, it only makes sense that something has to break. Because, like I say, there's an outlier that's kind of coming forth here. This is not going to be the repeat of a pattern. This is going to be something very different than what you're used to. So all this analytical energy feels very wasteful to me. I get it. The full moon is in Virgo. I get that we're going to have that. I get that Mercury is doing his thing and he's going to want to be very active and whatnot. But the problem is that I just don't know that we can really trust all that analysis all that much. Because I think life and nature is going to kind of take its course. It's going to do what it needs to do. And you can analyze and put numbers to things to death, but ultimately you never know when some random occurrence is going to happen. I think this is the random occurrence. So that Tower card says, okay, you should be expecting this, because when you embrace this kind of energy, this empowered, creative, self-assured, confident energy, and you start believing in things, it is only a matter of time before anything that does not fit that vibrational structure has to come crashing down. That's like law of attraction 101. It has to happen. We have to expect it. So this Tower, like I say, it's a change in course, but it's also one that I think you will significantly embrace as we enter Aries season. Look at where it leads you. Okay. I really like the Three of Wands. I really like the Nine of Cups. There does seem to be a lot of positivity as you step out of your comfort zone here. This stepping out of your comfort zone, while initially uncomfortable, I think you're going to very quickly adjust and just as quickly start to see the benefits and the result of all of that change. The Three of Wands really suggests prosperity and wealth coming to you, and the Nine of Coins speaks to your confidence that it is coming. And it's not even a matter of belief at this point. I think it's belief here, but probably by the end of the month, it's like a knowing. It's a surety. Like it is locked in, promised to you. It is coming. And see, the fallout of this tower is not really all that big of a deal. I mean, it's like the tower happens, but the cards immediately following are actually quite positive. Now, this one obviously is a bit of a struggle because there's clearly some type of a disappointment or a sadness or a loss or something like that. And I think that's natural because you realize at this point that things cannot go back to the way they were. Right? Like the past 2 years, 2023 and 2024, we really were straddling this old world versus new world. Old versus new. Pluto was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius, and we didn't really know where we stood. It was really hard to kind of push things forward in the way that we thought we would be able to. And a lot of people felt like they were just kind of stuck between like, I want to do all this stuff, but I don't feel ready. It's not the time. And then, it was just like, well, where do I go from here? But we're not in that world anymore. We're not in the straddling between two things anymore. Like this is very much, we're in the new now. And we need to be able to dive in with both feet. And I think that's what Aries is doing here. Aries is diving in with both feet. They're going full on, full committed. And that's another reason why this tower has to happen, because it's a true goodbye to everything that is obsolete in your life. Like, I think we have to just accept right here and now that the old is gone. I mean, we're not going to be able to get it back. And see, the thing is, this is going to continue in the months to come as Saturn comes into this conjunction with Neptune over the course of the next few months, and really for the whole of the year up to this point. All year, even on into 2026, Saturn and Neptune are going to be really close together, and they're going to be doing this little dance of conjunction between Aries and Pisces and this whole thing. And so, it's really dissolving a lot of that Saturnine crystallized structure in our lives. It's just layer after layer after layer of that stuff being removed. And there's really not a lot we can do about that. Okay, this is an inevitable process that we are all needing to go through. It's cleansing, it's baptismal, it's liberating, confusing, yes, chaotic, yes, but probably one of the best things that's ever happened. So I know there's going to be a little bit of a disappointment and a mourning, especially of the things that you've been forced to kind of let go. But ultimately, because new things are coming in, there's more money, there's more love, there's more resources, more abundance, whatever it is you're looking for, it's all starting to come in. I think you're okay with that Three of Swords. It's like, I'll take the Three of Swords if that means that my life can finally be what I've always wanted it to be. And I think a lot of Arians are going to be accepting of the Three of Swords. You're not going to fight it. You're not going to be upset about it because you understand its place. Okay? Now, this, I think, really does have to do with Neptune coming into Aries on the 30th. This is happening this month. Neptune crosses over that 0-degree mark and comes into your sign end of March, so during Aries season. So it's a very potent and powerful transit. A loss would not surprise me. A disappointment would not surprise me. So again, I don't think we should be surprised by things. We should not be like it all feels inevitable. Like we're just kind of, I mean, it's just how else could it be? So We're going to clarify this a little bit with the comprehensive reading just to see what comes through. But if you don't want to watch the comprehensive, that's fine. I don't want you to get worked up about this Three of Swords because I don't think it's going to be like this terrible thing that you never saw coming. I just think it's the pain of the acceptance of like, okay, it's time more than anything. Okay. Alrighty, so let's pull the clarifiers now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull another 27 cards minimum, and we're going to talk about these in the comprehensive reading for another 25 to 30 minutes. So it's like we have a whole second reading. So if you want to join for that, the link is in the description box and the comment thread down below. So you can check it out if you want. So let's see what comes through with the moon card here. What is it that you need to know? Okay, we've got the Lovers. Seven of Cups, Queen of Swords. There does seem to be an element of decision here. The World, Eight of Wands, and the Sun. Really liking the Sun energy a lot. Another Three of Swords. That tendency to want to analyze and overthink, it's going to be really strong. Another Chariot, Ace of Coins, beautiful King of Wands, love that card for you. Page of Swords, Eight of Coins, Justice, Queen of Coins. Okay. Temperance, Page. I feel like that one actually. Eight of Cups, High Priestess, Two of Cups, Ten of Cups, and last but not least, for the for the Three of Swords. I didn't really think that was that big of a deal. Doesn't feel like that big of a deal. Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing Pisces season, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.